So this is the COVID data for today.
And before anything else, please subscribe to this channel for more content like this one. Leave a comment below and like this video right now.
So the world data 1.5 million cases, 328,000 recovered, 87,000 deaths. So if you look at it closely, we will see that the recovery rate is 78.89%. In the Philippines, we have 3,870, 96 recovered, 182 deaths. That's only 34.5 recovery rate. I don't know if there's something wrong with this data. I've already taken this up with my previous videos, saying that number one, the Filipinos don't really like to be tested, and they don't really go to the hospitals unless they are dying. So maybe the people that are going to the hospitals getting tested are the ones that are really really sick. Also, the record of recovery may not be correct in the sense that sometimes it takes so long before Filipinos get cleared from the hospitals, and by the time they get cleared, maybe the data is not updated. I don't know. I'm not sure. The reason why I'm sharing all those things is because the world data is about 80% recovery and we're only at 34.5%. I don't believe that anyway, but that's what it is. All right. Calabarzon has it at 174 confirmed, 6 recovered, 11 deaths. Also the same 35.3% recovery rate. So how is it connected in the Philippines? Now this is the world. In the world data, okay, in the world data, we noticed that the active cases are just 1,095,000. The closed cases correspond very closely to March 24 data, which is about 7 plus 9, about 16 days ago, which is really realistic and logical because isn't it that it takes 14 days thereabouts to know whether a case is already clear or whether that person is dead already. So really the number of days required to clear a person suspected of COVID or clear a person who was sick of COVID is about 14 to 16 days. So 418 for the world, 422 of the cases, so just 4,000. The record is just off by 4,000, which is very close, right? So we have 79% recovered and 21% death. So really, I don't know what happened to our data. This is the country data. We have the U.S. still leading the pack at 430,000. You can attribute that for the many testing that's going on there, but still it's kind of scary. 30,000 new cases, and every day they are beating their previous day's record. 14,753 deaths. Spain also has 14,792 deaths. Italy has 17,669 of 139,000. Germany, fewer deaths, 2,000 only, but they have 113,000 total cases. France, 112,000, 10,000 deaths. Let me look at Iran, 3,900 out of 64,000. UK, 7,000. I don't know if you've heard about certain places there that are really not following the rules of enhanced community quarantine. They still do partying and concerts and all that. So really, this is something that I don't understand. Turkey has 38,226, 812 deaths. I don't know. Sometimes the reporting here is not so accurate, or I don't know whether maybe the government does not report everything. If you can see, there's no North Korea here. I don't know if that's true. China has 81,000, and I think the city of Wuhan already opened and they already stopped or ended their enhanced community quarantine. and it's now open for people outside of Wuhan to come into Wuhan. So that's a bit of a good news after 70 something, 76 days of being in quarantine. The Philippines is somewhere there, 3,870, 182 deaths. Yeah. So let's look at the connection of the Philippines in their cases. So we have 182 deaths, 96 recovered. This is about 278, which corresponds to more or less our March 21 data of 307. My question is that, that's 19 days ago. So I don't know whether that's correct, or maybe it takes 19 days for us to clear somebody, or it takes 19 days for us to close a case. That is why our records lag by that much. So I don't know. I don't really understand this data from the Philippines. We would imagine that the data should be somehow following the March 28 to March 30 cases, but as of now, that's our cases. Okay. Okay, so now moving for the curve estimation model that we've been building for quite some time now. So remember, we had this day 1, day 3, day 7, and so on. And then we ended up somewhere here, I think. And then I continued populating the data based on the daily reports coming in. And this is now day 54. Actually, it's day 55 today, but I have not inputted the data today. So April 8, that's yesterday, 3870. And if you will look at the curve estimation model, it's still the same. Now it's becoming very, very, very clear that the model that we're looking at is not the quadratic model, it's not the compound model, although it's very close to that also, growth or exponential. It's pretty closer to the cubic model. The cubic model has an R square of about 98.7% certainty. This is R square means ito yung ano, the amount of the percentage of the variance of the data being explained by the formula. So we are more or less 98.7%, you know, aligned to that based on previous data. Of course, as we proceed, this will continue to, you know, correct the model. So these are the summaries, parameter estimates. The constant will be at negative 41. The first coefficient, this is x sub 1, which is 28.616. X squared will be at negative 3.509, while x cubed will be at 0.116. I think this is peculiar in the sense that if you will look at April 4, sa may April 4 ko, ang April 4 natin, April 4 ganun din pala. April 4 is still, is at, April 4 is at 0.184. Okay? April 3 is at, well, April 3 I don't have data yet. I don't have data for April 3, but March 28, March 28, the cubic, uh, the the cube, um, the coefficient for the cube of x is only at 0.075 pala ng March 28. So apparently nung April 4, it went up to 18%, then now it went down. Okay, so not yet clear about that, right? So look at the forecast. If I will use quadratic equation and then I will forecast to April 15, this is just 7 days from now, 6 days from now. So really, there's no point in trying to forecast very near to when we are right now. So meaning if you will follow the quadratic equation, you will have 9636. If the cubic is at 14, so it will appear that you will favor quadratic. Of course, you will not favor compound or growth or exponential kasi napakalayo. But remember that this formula is really for a long-term forecast. That is why if you will look at all the points in the line, you will see that it favors really the cubic formula. Now, if I will, for example, input instead of April 15, April 30, di plus 15 to. So this will now become 76, right? If I make it 76, you will notice that the cubic forecast will be 32,000, almost 10 times data of what we have today. And then for the quadratic, it's at 16,796, which is about 5 times of what we have today. But again, um, this doesn't mean anything in a sense, no? Because what we are saying is that if we follow this path, kita nyo naman dito sa ating equation, di ba? Look at the equation. Talagang the cubic is somehow there. So talagang it will really go up. The data simply goes up. Okay? But then there's another peculiar thing that I noticed now. So what I did, ito following what CNN, I think New York is also doing this. I did the moving average of the last 5 days. So, ito yung ganda. So, I did the moving average of, teka, show you what I did. So, ito yung mga data. So, first, the moving average of the actual data. Ano ibig sabihin yan? What we are trying to achieve there is the smoothing. Okay? Parang i-smooth lang natin yung mga data. So, what can we say? Nothing. It's still moving up kasi 927, 1109, 1385, 1686, talaga namang increasing pa. But let's not just look on that, no, yung mismong data. Let's look at the moving average of the first differential. Ito sa numerical analysis to ginagawa. The first differential is, so parang ganda yan eh. So for example, nung March 7, 6 from 5. So that means ang differential niya 1. This one is 4, 14, and so on, right? If you will notice the day by day moving average difference, wala ka masyadong mapapansin, right? So, anong gagawin mo para ma-realize mo yung trend nun? You will get the moving average. So, the moving average moves now from an original of 8.8 before to 170 now. So, medyo malaki, no? But, ano ibig sabihin niya? 170 a day ang increase niya for the last 5 days. But what is peculiar is that having peaked at 320, it is now trending down, which is, I think, a good news. Kasi if this keeps on going down, then we will have fewer and fewer cases over here, which is really our hope. 'Di ba? Kaya nga tama lang na talagang nag-continue pa yung quarantine days. I think we're following what China had done. All right. Now that's one, no? But then there's another one, which is the second differential. The second differential is the differential of the differential. Kumbaga sa calculus, ito yung the 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 double prime, no? The d squared y over dx squared. Okay, para saan yun? So, para lang malaman mo yung rate of change kasi usually ito is the velocity and this is the acceleration. So, whether the rate of acceleration is increasing or decreasing. So, 4 minus 1, 10 minus 1. So, ito naman Excel lang. So, really, there's no need to check that. This is computation by Excel. And then, same thing, get the moving average. So, this is the acceleration, so to speak. Now, if you will look at the acceleration from a high of 93, now the acceleration is turning negative, which is again good news. Kasi from a peak of 93, ito medyo may problema doon. Well, from a peak of 93, it went down to 10. Now it's negative 55. So meaning we are slowly, uh, parang flattening the curve, so to speak. Pero, syempre, sisimula pa lang to. We know of 5, no, actually 2 consecutive data lang because last April 6, it was still positive. Although itong pagka-positive na to, if you will look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least mga 7 or 8 or 9 days ago, hindi siya kasing taas compared to 9 days ago. Like, for example, nung March 31, ang average is 93.4. Ito yung kasagsagan ng ang dami talaga na natetest, right? So, yun. So, hopefully, let's see how it goes. And talagang hopefully bumaba yung cases natin. If this goes on like this, by April 20, we would flatten the curve. Yun yung pinaka-hope natin. So let's stick around to find out whether that brave, um, you know, ang tawag na forecast becomes a reality. Ang ayaw lang naman natin mangyari is that napabilis yung pagbalik natin sa streets and then magkaroon ng second wave. We don't want that to happen. So let's still keep on following what the government is saying. Stay clear of crowded spaces, stay at home as much as possible, and keep on wearing those masks. So thank you very much. Let's hope for the best.